Hey everybody, how are you today? Sorry, I'm having very technical difficulties today. My internet's running a bit slow, so I don't know how everything is going to go today. And then I could not find my tablet anywhere. See, right now I'm trying to get started and I can't even get started because my internet is so slow. So I'm not really sure this is going to work out today, guys. I hope it will, though. Here I am. So make sure the sound is down. There we go. Hey, Cindy. Hey, Lita. Today I'm going to I'm sure everybody is sitting here waiting for me to get in here. So I'm just going to go ahead and I didn't pull any colors because, like I said, I have been scrambling for the last, I don't know, 15 minutes, 15, 20 minutes looking for my tablet, and then my son, Steven, finally found it for me, sitting on top of my printer in front of my face. So that's always absolutely awesome when you find something that's right in your face and have someone else find it for you. So this is the cute little Enchanted Rockabilly. This is from Paper Shelter. And I thought she was great because she gives us a lot of shadow. We can work on wings. And then we can work on this curly hair. So I love these curls. Sounds like you, Cindy. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think it was because I was in such a panic because I was already running late. So I think I was just in such a panic that I just did not even see it at all. Hey, Susan, how are you, sweetheart? So I'm going to start out with her skin. Her skin might be a little bit more tricky. And tell me if this is too dark here. And I can get my lights out for you, so just let me know. Steven, can you open that blind for me, sweetheart? Steven is still in here helping me, like the good son that he is. So, one thing about her wings. Now, you can make her wings to where you can they're translucent, which is what I'm going to do today, or you can make them to where you can't see anything through them, like a monarch butterfly or something like that. But when you do them to where they're translucent, you're not going to have a whole lot of shadow. And I just refilled these, so I'm going to take the lid off just so I don't get a big old blob in her face. But so she's not really going to have a whole lot of shadow on this side of her face. And I hope you guys like this image. She is just, I love her. I think she's just so cute. So, so cute. So we have her ear over here. Now I'm going to have the sun coming this way. Okay. So that way she's going to have a little bit more of shading on this side of her face. And I'm just going in between her little glasses. And we'll go around over her chin. Now she will have a bit of shading right here where her shoulder is. So I'm just going to go all the way over to her mouth and kind of come up a little bit. Come right here around her neck. And I just went into her earring, but I'm going to make her earring gold. So I'm not too worried about putting this color in her ear right there. Put a little bit of shading right here where her little outfit is and her arm. And put some here. Now, normally we put the shading on the back side of her arm, right? But if we have the sun coming this way, the back side of her arm is actually the side that's going to get the sun. So we're going to put the shading on the front side of her arm. Now I know a lot of people say, oh, I don't get where the shading goes. This is why I draw arrows. I draw arrows on everything I color, okay? Even when I'm not coloring with you guys, I put arrows on my stuff so that I know I can remember which way I'm going. So she's not going to have any sun here on her legs. So I'm just going to go ahead and then her hand right here will cover her leg here. And then of course you're going to have a little bit of shade on the bottom of her foot because of the ground. Let me see if I can zoom in a bit more. Hopefully that'll help so you guys can see a little better. Okay, and then we're going to put a little bit of shading right here in her foot. And then she's got her heel right here, so we'll put a little bit of shade right here, and then she's sitting on her leg. So her bum is also going to cast a shadow, of course, and the heel of, or the strap of her little shoe. So we've also got some shading here on her foot because of her bum. And then you can't really tell, but right here there is an open area, and that is actually her elbow because her hand is right here holding her other shoe. So I'm just going to get her hand, get underneath her thumb, and I'm just going to get a bit of her elbow. Okay. I'm not going to put any shading right there because you're going to see her arm a bit through the wings, but we'll do that in a couple minutes. So I'm done with E11 for right now. Now I'm going to do all the cast shadows with the E04. So we'll have some on her hair. And I'm just going real light on her hair. She'll have some right here on her ears. And I'm really sorry if you can hear my neighbor doing something to their lawn. I'm not sure what they're doing. And then we're going to go right here, because she'll have cast shadow right here from her little outfit and from her arm. She'll have a tiny bit of a cast shadow here. And then one here. I have to say it was much nicer in the wintertime when I didn't have to worry about anybody doing their lawn chores. I didn't have to worry about you guys hearing all the noise. Hopefully my phone isn't picking it up. So we'll have cast shadow right there. And believe it or not, we're going to have a bit of a cast shadow because of her bum. There. There. And because of her heel. And then because of her shoe. And I think, oh, we're going to have a cast shadow right here because of her shoulder on her face. Yeah, it is. But I still feel like it's rude that I have it on my video, you know? That's no fun for you guys to have to listen to that. So I'm going to pull the cast shadow out. Oops, and I just went in her eyeball. Oh my gosh. Hang on. See? Told you guys I do that all the time. So I'm just going to take my 0 and I'm going to push that out of her eyeball. And her eye should be good as new in a couple of seconds. If not, I can go back in with my 0. So back with the 11. Take both caps off because this baby is juicy. seriously filled this baby up. Here we go. And then get right in there, just going over all the spaces where we did the EO4. There we go. There's not much. I mean, you could even, if you wanted to, I wouldn't do EO4, but you could even put a little bit of E11 right there in her toes. Girl's got some serious toes going on. She has little sausage toes like me. Here we go. Pull that E11 out, or that EO4 out. Get that all done. And I think we got all the bits. So now we need our E21. Hey Debbie, how are you, sweetheart? Now we're gonna pull this over just a little bit more than normal because the sun's coming this way. So the sun over, she's not getting any sun over here. So we're gonna pull this over a little bit more than normal. And this will actually be less than normal on this side instead of it being in the center of her face. So we'll pull this back. We're gonna finish out that little part and finish out her hand. So you get her arm. And then we're gonna go ahead and finish out her knee here and her leg. And we're gonna go ahead and leave a little bit on the top of her foot, or at least where her bum's not hitting. So her bum isn't hitting here. This looks like it's back behind her bum, but it looks like she's definitely sitting on her foot on this side. And get her toes. There we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab my R30 and my R20. Let's see. Actually, I need to put some E21 right here on her face. And then I'm going to use my R20 for her cheeks. Okay. Now this part is going to be the hard part because you have to get it in there without getting it all over her glasses, unless you're going to be doing a darker color. So if you're going to do a darker color, go for it. It's not going to, it won't hurt your darker color to do that. And then you can just pull the color out and not have to worry about her glasses. I hate having to worry about glasses and things like that on their faces. It drives me insane. So now we're going to finish it out with the E00. We're just going to finish out her skin. And you can go right over the top of her glasses if you want to. I'm actually going to make her glasses red or black, so I don't have to worry about her glasses. But if you intend to make her glasses a different color, you're going to want to make sure you don't go through those glasses. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish out all of her skin. There we go. And I think think I got everything. I did go out of the lines a little bit, but I can clean that up easy peasy with my 0. There we go. I know, don't you? I love the, I really absolutely love the paper nest, or not paper nest, paper shelter stamps. Here we go. That's just, that line is bothering me. And I will probably get that more as I go back and do the shadows a little bit more on her skin, but I want it to dry a little bit more. So you need to tell them to change that weekly meeting for you, Corinna, so that you can be here instead, because you know we're more fun anyway, right? So I'm going to go ahead and use R32 on her lips. Although, you know what? I just thought of something. If I'm going to do red and black with her, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and use R29 instead. And see, it's that easy. If you change your mind, it is that easy to change what you're doing. See, easy peasy to change what you feel like you're gonna do. Her hair, I'm gonna go ahead and use E21, E23, E27, and E25. So I'm gonna start out with E25. And we're just gonna do her little bangs. And I'm actually going to do her little bow in red. So I don't want to go over that with the E colors too much. So I'm going to do her bangs and then we'll do the curls really fast, hopefully before Corinna has to take off. So I'll just get this in there. Her bangs, now I have her printed out at 4 inches. So her bangs really aren't, I mean, there's not a whole heck of a lot of space to color on these, even at 4 inches. So if you feel you need a little bit more space to practice, I would print her out bigger. So on the inside of her curl, I'm gonna go ahead and do the E25, okay? So that's on the inside. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go around the outside where these dark lines are. That's one thing I love about Veronica. That's the owner of Paper Shelter. She always puts these awesome lines in the hair to help guide you a bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and go around these lines, but I'm going around this way and then I'm going back and forth. So this one I did up and down, this one I'm going back and forth. Get that side. So get around here. And I'm not doing like super close together. I am going to get that in there. And then go down this way. And this is how you would do ringlets as well. You just go from side to side instead of, you know, up and down. So now I'm going to go ahead and go this way. See, so it makes it nice and easy. So this one is actually, instead of going side to side, this one would be going up and down. And then this one, see, so it's really not, it looks complicated, but it's really not super complicated. Hey, Marilyn, it's so nice to see you. Well, See, you're typing anyway, you know what I mean. So now I'm going to go ahead and just put some random flicks in her bangs. And then I'm just going to do the same thing, but I'm going to go in between as much as I can, go in between the E25 so that this just looks like highlights or added color, that I'm not blending the E25. Now, since our light is coming from this way, I don't want this completely dark on this side. So this one, I'm only going to put in a couple flecks, and I'm not going quite as far in. I'm leaving, see that big white part that I'm leaving? So, but this is inside of her curls, so that can be a little bit darker. So go ahead and get that. Get the top ones. There we go. Isn't she adorable? I love this stamp so much. Seems like there's a lot of online learning going on still. I thought the kids were out for summer. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use E21 for our highlights here. And I'm going to finish out her hair for the most part. But we're still going to go in and put some contrast in there to make those curls really pop. So I'm going to use E27 to make these curls pop. So basically you decide which ones are in the front. So basically this one, and this one are the ones in the front. This one's kind of like in the bottom back, side kind of thing. Back, back, and back, obviously. So the back ones, we are just going to put some color in there. Wow, that baby's juicy. So get some color there, and we will put a little bit of color here. And then we're going to put some in the centers as well, because you know the center of those curls are not bright. And then we'll put a little bit of color here, but we're going to put most of that color right in here and put some there. Okay, so this one I'm not going to do some flicks right there. I'm just going to go ahead and draw like a little thin line around her little headband. And then I will come down with a little bit of color. Oops, and this is E27, in case no one knew. Wow, the end of June, holy cow. So now I'm going to go ahead and use E23 because I don't want this being super harsh, but I still want that color in there, that contrast to bring everything forward. There we go. There, see how this one really comes see how they really come forward? And if it still doesn't come forward enough, like say you want it to be really dark, then you can just put little lines right where the back behind stuff is at to really make it stand out a little bit more. So you can even just like draw like a little line here and put one here. Okay. And then one right there. So you can just have to do a little line. It doesn't take much to really make them stand out. Okay, I'm gonna get a drink. My throat hurts because I talk too much. So one thing I love about these stamps as well is the eyes. I love the eyes in these because it always has a place for you to make the eyes look beautiful. I usually try to make mine pop, and since I'm using red, I sometimes do green, but because I'm doing red, I'm gonna do blue. So I'm just barely dotting, like dotting some color, some BG05, in just the top half of her eye. And her eye is a bit small, so I'm gonna see if I can't just use 2 of the markers. Now I'm gonna pull the BG05 down a bit and blend it out with the BG000. And this you have to have a very light touch, no pushing hard. And it looks like it didn't quite work the way I wanted it to. It looks like it got washed out a bit too much. So I'm going back in with the BG05. And I'm just gonna go right there. And then I'm gonna use BG01. And I'm just gonna finish it out with that. Now you will lose her little pupil that's in there, but if you take, since the pupils are so small, if you take an 05 gel pen you can put the pupils right back in. Okay? Easy peasy. Now I think I'm gonna do her wings because I don't really want to do any red or black until very last. Just simply because red and black smear so badly. So I'm gonna go ahead and do her wings. Her wings, I'm gonna go ahead and go with, do I want white wings or do I want blue wings? Somebody help me out. White or blue wings? I think we should do, if we're gonna do a little red outfit, I think I should go with white wings. So I'm gonna grab my C2, my C1, and my C0 for this one. And I'm going to go ahead and put C2 down first. And I'm just going to go on the outsides here. A little bit on the inside. And I'm just feathering it in. And I'm putting in little small strokes in between where the black lines are, and then I'm coming all the way out on the black lines. I'm going to do the same thing here. And I'm going all the way up to her skin. So be careful if you're doing that part. So now I said these were going to be see-through, right? So this one, I'm going to actually turn this around and I'm going to take this black line right here and I am going to follow that all the way back into her skin. And I'm just going to go all the way along right here. Okay. Make sure I do the same thing to up here so that they know, whoever sees this knows what the heck I was thinking or what I was doing having this gray line right here. And then I've already got this started, so I'm just going to go ahead and pull all this out. And we'll pull this out right here. Okay. There we go. Now I'm going to smooth the C2 out, whoops, with the C1. And I'm just going right over the top of those C2 lines. So don't know if you guys are still there. I'm having troubles. Let's see, here we go. Having technical difficulty because of my stuff. So right now it tells me that there's nobody there and I'm not getting any comments or anything. So if you guys actually commented and said blue wings, I'm super sorry because I did not get them. So I'm just finishing out her wings with the C0. Making sure I blend this out up here. And this is really having issues here. I think I might need to restart this. Okay, maybe this is an FB thing, because there we go. It's saying that it can't play my video. So I will have to, I'm hoping you guys aren't having the same problems I am. But I'm just gonna keep on going. And pray to God, you guys, if you guys have questions, I'll do this later. And if you guys have questions, or I'll post it later. And if you guys have questions, then I will go ahead. Yeah, because it says that it's still, oh, you guys are still clear. See, if I stand up and look on my phone, it's fine. I just can't see anything on my tablet. So I'll just stand up once in a while. Yeah, it will not play. So I'll just have to stand up once in a while. So I'm super sorry. Let's see. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the red, or I should do the ruffles on her pants first. Her ruffles on her pants are gray and or white, just like her little wings. So I'm just going to use C2 and I'm going to go along her little ruffles. Now, one nice thing about Veronica is where you see these two little lines and stuff, these little up areas. See how the two little lines go to the up area or to the down area? that is super, super nice because she sat there and she designated where the bright area, where the up areas and the down areas were for the ruffles. So I'm just going to use C2 and then I'm going to use C0 to kind of finish that out. And then I'm going to go, that's such a small area that it doesn't take long for the ink to really build up. So I will go back afterwards and do the ink. So you just close that out. I'll keep trying so I can actually see your comments maybe. That's weird that this is being so crazy. Oh, there we go. Okay. Hi, Marilyn. Yes, I have been posting the colors after because I just don't know what I'm going to use. And I want to show you guys how I pick colors. So we went over that in a class, I think a couple weeks ago, that I would just start doing colors afterwards. So I'm going to use R29. I'm going to use R05. And R17, and then I might use R46, but I'm not quite sure because this is such a small little area for her little headband and stuff. So this is one thing where I said if you're going to use a darker color, don't worry about it. So her little polka dots are actually going to be in a darker color, so I'm not going to worry about the polka dots. So don't start freaking out like, oh my god, you're gonna color over that. So don't worry, I'm gonna show you what I do. Okay, so we're gonna go over, she has like a little back area right there where it's bent a bit, so I'm gonna go ahead and this will be the darkest area here. Now if you don't want to go over the polka dots, see, they don't make it, it's not like they're super close, so it's not too hard to not go over them. So I'm going to go ahead and, this one is juicy too. Holy mac and cheese, I actually have juicy pens for once. So I'm going to go ahead and, I'm actually going to color this, all this in right here, because that's just going to be completely covered by sun. Then she has a little tiny area in her hand right there, which I just realized didn't get colored. So I'm going to take my E21 and I'm going to color her little fingers in right here. There we go. And then I'm going to turn her around so I can get her little bottom. Get around her hand. There we go. Okay, and this side will get more shade with the sun being on the other side. But I am putting a little bit right here because you're still going to have the shade coming around and then all the light will be on her back. Think of it as like a cylinder. Now I'm not flicking right here. I'm just putting some color in because my pen is really juicy and I don't want to get in her skin. So I'm just dabbing the color in there. So at the same time, I can also get her little headband. And she'll have a little bit coming down there. And then we're going to go ahead and come up from the front and then out to the back. And then I'm going to go right on the inside. This is kind of like an ear, so I'm just going to fill that part in. And then I'm going to get this part here. Get a little there, and then we'll get Actually a lot right there because that's hidden by the shade. I keep having to look at my arrow. So I'm done with the R29 for now. Now I'm going to go to the R17. And I'm going to go ahead and fill this in a bit. Isn't she cute? I just love her. Go ahead and pull this out. And again, just short little strokes. Make sure you leave some white in there. That way we can go back with the R05. I'll just pull that out a bit. So now we have to finish out the rest of her little outfit except for in the very back. So I'm just pulling this out just a bit. Pulling that out. I'm just going to go over those dots. That way I can be sure to show you that it's okay to go over them. Now I'm going to use the R05 to finish it all out. And I'm going to blend out those lines that nobody really wants. There we go. Make it look all nice and smooth. There we go. So now we're going to go ahead and finish out her little headband. Oh, I just remembered she had a little heart tattoo. So I got to finish that out too. So I'm just going to go ahead. It looks like a heart tattoo with wings. So I'm just going to do that little heart tattoo in R05. Now I'm going to use the R46 to do our contrast. So I'm going to go ahead and put a lot of R46 here. I'm going to put some underneath her arm here, just so that it'll bring her arm forward a bit. Put some right here in her lap, so you can see the difference between the front and the back of her. And then go ahead and get some on her bum. Now, if that's not enough contrast, if you want more contrast, there is R59. This I would suggest being very careful with. This is a very, very dark color. So, and you can put some like right in her lap, right in the front there where I did. Put some right here. Some right at her hand. And then we can put some across her bum, where she's sitting down. And then you can put some right at that little back seam. And then if you put some in her hair bow, it actually really livens up that bow and really gives it some contrast. Really just makes it come alive. So let's see, I gotta turn her around. So, and bring some out this way. Now you can really see the ridges in her little hair tie, hairband, hair tie. I'm not sure what you call it. But it really brings it to life. Now you can either do, you can go back to R46 or R29, but I think I'm going to go back to the R17 and just smooth that out a little bit. Because you still keep your sharpness, you don't put too much darkness back into it, but you still keep the contrast that you wanted. Because sometimes you'll put your dark contrast in there and want to smooth it out, and then now you've got all these dark colors again, and then you feel like, oh, you've gone way too dark. So this will help you. If you go down a couple colors, it'll help you to not get that extra dark stuff in there and make it too dark. It'll just kind of smooth everything out. So get her little tattoo in there. So you can either go with white polka dots or you can go with black polka dots. If you do decide to go with white polka dots, the magic of a gel pen. I love gel pens because it brings all of your polka dots back in and makes them look awesome. Look at that. Can't even tell I went over that with a super dark red color. Love it, love it, love it. See, and she had a couple up here. And if you want to, look at that. Now she has polka dots on her little headband to match. There we go. Isn't she cute? Love how you kept that shadow in the headpiece. Has nice stuff. Thank you, Debbie. So we also have to do her shoes, and of course her shoes are going to be red. There's a lot of red in today's classes, people. Lots of red. Oh my goodness. Might as well give her red eyeshadow too, right? So here's R05. Just put some light little eyeshadow on her. Isn't she cute? I am gonna do black glasses. So I'm gonna use my C7 and my C9. So I'm gonna use C9 on all the places that would have shadow. So like the corners, and then underneath a little bit, over the nose piece. Ooh, and I can show you guys something fun that I did the other day too on a different image, since she has the right kind of glasses on. So gonna go ahead and go over. There we go. Be careful not to color her nose. There we go. But you can take, I'm not going to use the same one I did. I'm going to use my 05. But now she has the little charmy things in the corners of her glasses. Isn't that cute? I love it. So we need to do her shoes, and then we just have her wing left, and we're done. So her shoes, I'm going to do the same way I did her little outfit. I'm going to use R29 first, and I'm going to get underneath that bow and just right here. I'm only going to do the bow part and her little strappy in red. The rest of it I want to make like a, what do you call it? Not wicker, but kind of like a twine kind of color. I better get this one before I forget. So get this part of her shoe. You know, like, I remember my mom had shoes in the 70s that had these heels, and then they were like all wrapped in like twine or something like that. That's what I'm thinking of, if anybody's old enough to know that, or if your mom had them, I don't know. Where I put the glossy accents. Yeah, you can put the glossy accents in her glasses. Otherwise, I usually just color it with a lighter, like a blue or a gray color. And then I just put little lines in it to make it look like glass. So I'm going to finish that out with the R17. There we go. Finish that out with the R17 because that shoe is not getting any light at all. And then go ahead and finish it out with the R05. So for her other rest of her shoe, I think I'm gonna go ahead, what color? I think I'll use E30 and E31 for the heel of her shoe. So I'll go ahead and go around this way and put a little here. I don't remember what the inside of it was, but I think my mom, the inside of my mom's shoe, the right here kind of just matched the, you know, it was just like a tan color. And then use E30 to kind of finish that out. Now, if you wanted to, if you do this image and you wanted to have more detail on the shoes, you could always do the sole of the shoe first and then use the clear blender fluid on a piece of burlap, and then that would give you like a burlap look to the shoe. But for now, I think I'm going to try and just go like this. Just draw some white lines in there to kind of give it that, you know, that little texture-y kind of look. There we go. Looks okay, I think. And then we just have her little wing on her shoulder to do, and I think I'm just gonna use a C1 so it'll look like her little wing. And I just dabbed some C1 in there. So I think we've got everything. Oh, her little glasses. So what I was talking about, this is my C0. And I'm just gonna go in, because glasses take on the color that is there. So we're just gonna put that in there. And then I'll use my 05 gel pen and just put some like little lines in there, make it look like, you know, like the reflection of glass. And there we go. So let me see if I can get this on the camera right, so you guys can see the glasses. Can you guys see it? I hope you guys can see it. Hopefully I'm holding it up close enough. Okay. And then there's our little image for today. So I hope you guys liked her. I hope you had a good time. And I will see you all on Tuesday. I was trying to think if this week was the first Thursday of the month so that we could do our club image. Which this one doesn't look so good, but because my handwriting's too big. But I tried to do the shirt from the La La Land Crafts Retreat, because I know a few of you that are in here today were there and got this shirt. But we'll be coloring her next, I think it's next Thursday, okay? So we'll be coloring her next Thursday, all right, sweetheart? What would you have done differently if the polka dots were black? If they were black, I would have just used my C9 or even just my 100 black. And I would have just dotted the black in. And it would still work even how I did the polka dots on her top. Here, let me sit back down. I had to see where my camera was so that I could make sure you guys could see her. So even with the darkest red, which that was R59, and here's R29, okay? So the way that I did the white dots and those going on there, see, this is my 100 black, my 100. You can still put the black polka dots on the red. Or here is C9. You can put the C9 polka dots on the red too. Okay. But that's all I would have done. I would have just used my markers to do the black dots instead of the white. So looks like everybody's getting their la la in. So we'll be doing that next week. Don't worry. Okay. And I will see you guys Tuesday. Okay. Love y'all. Thank you for coming and joining me today. I'll talk to you later. Bye.